cruise ships are expected to pull into Halifax Harbor this morning as an East Coast storm brings heavy rainfall to that region. Environment Canada predicts an accumulation of between 120 to 200 millimeters of rain by the end of the day in New Brunswick. Emergency measures organizations in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and PEI are all warning of the potential for localized flooding and power outages. With us this morning from Halifax is CTV's Atlantic Bureau Chief Todd Battison. There you are, dressed for the weather, Todd. Tell us what's happening.
Well, Marcy, yes, I'm in Bedford. This is a suburb of Halifax, not far, and this is getting buffeted by some pretty heavy winds right now, about the 70-kilometer-an-hour mark for gusts. But really, this is a New Brunswick story. We haven't seen that much rain here. We queued a little bit to blow on us for this live hit with you, but for the most part, New Brunswick bore the brunt of this storm overnight, really beginning yesterday afternoon. 153 millimeters of rain for Miramichi. That's a record. Fredericton, St. John, Moncton, Sackville, that southeastern corner of the province, really getting a lot, unusually high amounts of rain, and there are those wind gusts I was telling you about. So they're dealing with some localized flooding. They've got about 6,000 people without power at this hour. In Nova Scotia, it's about 5,500, but Nova Scotia Power is saying that they're hoping to get the power restored to most homes by 8:30 this morning. This really is a storm that started in the States, in the Northeast and Maine, worked its way up through and has really, like I said, contained itself more or less to New Brunswick, into Prince Edward Island, and crossing over into Cape Breton. Mainland Nova Scotia being spared the majority of the rain anyway.
And we saw that supermoon. We were watching that on Sunday, and that created some of the highest tides, at least in the Bay of Fundy, in some 20 years, Todd. So I guess that, combined with all the rain, is flooding a concern in some coastal areas.
No, I don't think so. Those really those high tides were isolated to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I haven't heard anything about coastal concerns with this storm. Those high tides coincide with the supermoon that we had that added a bit. And you're right, the highest tides in 18 years, but not hearing too many. There might be some, sort of shallow areas where high tide traditionally causes a bit of problem, some localized flooding, but nothing too dramatic. So again, New Brunswick seeing some localized flooding and some record-breaking days there for rainfall.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're going to check back in with you a little later in the morning. And Jeff, of course, will have the full forecast for the region. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes.